Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bogota. You have a chance to see the unique video how life is in Bogota here. No? Poverty, my friend. Poverty wherever you look. I had a little talk with taxi driver because don't you forget, sabes, solo tres hombres saben que lo pasando nuevo en ciudad. Es un taxista, un barber y un bartendista. Only 3 people know what's going on new in the town. Taxi driver, bartender and barber. So I took a taxi. I was in the hotel already. I took to the bartender. He says everything is fucked up in Colombia. Since we got a new fucking leftist president, he told me. Yeah. Then I still didn't have my haircut. But I talked to several taxi drivers, and this taxi driver told me, my friend, todo mierda aquí. Everything is fucked up. Yeah? So I'm confirming it later on with peluquerista, with bartender, with barber. Later on, yo voy a cortar mi pelo. Later on, I will cut my hair, and I will confirm that in Colombia everything is fucked up. Yeah? Because taxi driver told me, všechno je v píči. Já ti to ještě po česku, do třetím jazyku, já ti to řeknu i v česku, i po slovensku, ty čurák. Tak poslouchaj, nejdřív ti to řeknem v česku. Jo, jenom 3 lidi, jo. Jo, dívej, tady máš, hej, dívej na tu šťabajznu tady. Ta je pičo. Já ti řeknu ty kolumbijský ženy, počkej, já to dokončím tu myšlenku. Takže, hej, 3 lidi jenom ví, jaký to, now the check, jako prezident Mr. Zelensky, and I'm switching to Ukraine language. I'm switching to Czech language. Bratři a sestry, když přijedete do nového města, musíte se zeptat 3 lidí, co se děje. Taxi drivera, řidiče taxiku, holiče a bartendera. Jo? Baristy. Nebo jak se to řekne? To se řekne internacionálně, to se řekne česky, tomu rozumíš, ty šmoučku. Podívej na ty krásné hory a doly, tady jaký mají. Je to fakt jako... je to zelení, nebo jak se to řekne česky, je to obložený zelení, jo. A prostě, hej, promiň mi tu češtinu, bratři, ale už nevím, jak se to říká, je to obklopený zelení. A 3 lidi jenom, jo. Tak jsem se ptal bartendera, člověče, v tom mým hotelu, a ten říká úplně na piči, od té doby, co tady mají toho levicového prezidenta, všechno jde do piči. Já mu říkám, jak to, kurva, ti socialisti, to jsou skvělí lidi, vole, prostě Marx, vole, jsme tady, oh my god, já ti nebudu říkat, co jsme hovořili o Engelsovi, on jakoby s Engelsem trochu nesouhlasil, já jsem toho Marxe tam půjčoval, víš, trochu, teď jsme tam ty trockisty, jo, trošku jsme se do toho zapletli, jo, pokočkovali jsme se, no to je jedno. A teďka já ti říkám, jo, teď jsem, holiče jsem ještě nedal, ale potvrdil jsem si to už s některým taxikářem, že je to tady úplně ten taxikář ti to pošlu. Říkal, úplně na píču je to tady. Od té doby, co máme toho levicového kokota, jo, takže to je pro vás vy kokoti levicoví v Evropě, v Evropské unii. Kokoti socialisti, una mierda socialistas, jo. Ale byla skvělá, jo. A potom teda ten holič, ještě se půjdu ostříhat. A co myslíš, že mi ten holič řekne? Tak pičo, ten mi řekne, všechno je to tady na piču, seniore, vole. Od té doby, co ti komanči přišli, všechno to je na piču. Yeah. So now I'm switching back into the English, thank you. And practically I was saying only in this retarded language called Czech, I was saying only 3 sentences, because this Czech, oh my god, you got a book in Czech language, it has 1,000 pages, you switch it in English, and it has 5 words, you know, so I was saying that the communists and the leftists destroy everything all around the world, my friend. Don't get mistaken. You see, the taxi driver told me, since the new leftist president is here, everything fuck up. Prices of the food, rent, you know, unemployment, fucking communists. You know, so you have to remember, in United States of America and in Europe, I think you have forgotten it and you will never recall it. But I'm trying. Never ever negotiate with socialists and leftists. Because there is a very thin line between communists and leftists and socialists. And I would say there is no line at all. And they will all bankrupt you, put you in concentration camps, they fuck you up. Yeah. So we capitalists, actually we happy that what's going on in Europe, because we cannot help each other. We capitalize. If the leftists are in the power, rightists, we're not leftists, or we're just fucking animals. You know, some animals got a bigger teeth, some got a smaller teeth. You know, that's a sociopathic, you know, maxim. Is the modus operandi is like, why you wanna wreck this company? Because it's wreckable. Why you wanna suck up this? Why you wanna assassinate economically this country? Because it's doable. You know, it's doable. So now think how you can make money of it. And you cannot do nothing about it. You cannot beat them, join them, right? Forget about it. It's good, communism, socialism. It's good in Europe, you know. Think it over. How you can make money and fly away in golden parachute, you know. Because I observe in Western Europe and in USA happening things which are not normal compared to history. First of all, this is the first society which is shooting itself into the knee, and it's the first society which is voluntarily, the elites voluntarily and deliberately cooperating with invaders. Yeah? I switch like a Mr. Zelensky into Czech because I gotta train my Czech. Rozumíš, to je první civilizace, která kurva dokonce kooperuje s těma invadorama. Ti zasraní Římani, ti se tam váleli na drogách, vole. Chápeš, kurva, hej Nero, vole, hej, tam byly celý posraný říše vytvořený, vole, na prostě mandli opia, kterou si každý den dal ten Nero do toho vína, no ser na to, hej, já to zkrátím, nebudu z toho dělat monolog, ale chci říct, že na konci ti Římani, podívej se, oni se tam váleli s těma kurvama, zašišování, vole, byrokracie, ty děvky, ty orgie, běhali tam ti skurvení hůnové, křesťanizovaní, jo. Všechny ty posraný kolonie, vole, tam jeli zpátky, ale oni jakoby s nima nekooperovali, jo. Tam nebyl nějaký posraný Maximus, vole, který, vole, by pičel, tam mluvil, vole, s nějakou malou Ázií, říkal, hej, přijďte sem, pojďte si nás jít, kurva. Ani staří Řeci měli průměrný IQ 130, kurva. Hej, myslíš, že ti skurvení Azteko, žádná popíčená civilizace, Mr. Zelensky, I'm switching English. No civilization in the world, my friend, never ever cooperated with the invaders. Only European Union and USA. They should like, come here, we're gonna replace the original fucking citizens by fucking Latin American brothers and sisters. Come on, you see? I'm wondering if Mrs. Fursura for the Lion is not talking to some fucking dictators in Chad or Sudan where are fucking 10 million displaced motherfuckers, and then she's telling them, you know what, we put you on the board. Hey, come here to Europe. We'll be all friends. So this is the thing. First time in history the elites cooperate. You know, every civilization was overtaken by another. Nothing new. Yeah, we knew that the Western Europe and North America, you know, Northern Americans and Western Europeans, they gotta fucking go, right? We know it. But the way how they going is really alarming. And then, second thing, which I would say is different in history, is that there is an extreme number of idiots who are jumped to the power. Because before, the politicians may not be sharp in history, but they were not total idiots. Like German Minister of Foreign Affairs who think that the circle is 180 degrees. Or for sure for the Lion who is demented, or Joe Biden who got an IQ of dog, you know. So this is the first time in history Miguel Antonio Caro. Příjemné si takto posedět. Mr. Caro si tady sedí takhle. Tady toho gentlemana si vygooglujeme později. Podíváme se něco o Akademie Colombiana. Vidíš ty čuráku, trochu kultury tady. Uděláme intermezzo. Takže bratři a sestry, I switch into Czech. Never ever in history of fucking civilizations the politicians of some civilization were so stupid like North America and Europe and so demented, you know. So this is it. You know, a lot of people think that the third world countries will go up and first world country will go down. I know that you're dying to know my opinion, and I'm going into this monologue with you, so I tell you. In my opinion, some of the first world countries no some, but most of them will decline. Japan, it cannot grow economically anymore. It's impossible, right? Somalia, you put your money in Somalia, you make 8% per fucking annum, right? You wanna make money? I'll talk about this later. You go to Venezuela, motherfucker. You make a lot of money in Venezuela. I'll talk about this later on. That's why the fuck you think I'm here. I always have a plan. I don't travel just for pleasure, huh? Yeah? So listen up. What you gonna do when some first world countries, most of them, I would say, declining. Germany, Japan, the economical brain of Southeast Asia is Japan and China. Well, China, it's a specific thing. Let's not talk about China, so it's not a dialogue, If it's, the opium wars and all that, forget about it. Japan is a typical example of Western, first world country, and it's a, economical hub or engine of Southeast Asia. Well, Japan is declining, my friend. They fucking with robots and they HDAP going down. Germany is the economical, center of Europe. Engine of Europe. Well, it's declining, right? No wonder, fucking Green Deal, all that fucking communistic craps, right? I mean, it's a great business, We all waiting, we so fucking thrilled. Who'll be in the fucking White House? Because, it's 50-50 and we know that everybody is startled. Alarm, nobody knows what to do now. The fuck, we should fucking invest, will be Green Deal or won't. Anyway, so now look at America. Of course, USA is going down, but I think even though USA will get separated and Trump is in the power and he will let bleed out NATO and they will close the borders, I think they still can be quite successful country because they have some resources. They are 300 or how many millions? 400 millions, 350 or whatever, yeah. So don't you forget, they're different than Europe. If you're asking me what continent will hit in future, which will suffer most economically, well, it's Europe. There's no question about this. Europe is fucked, my friend. You see, America, they have a USA, they have a still maneuver to be separated and go their own way. Asia, they will work it out somehow. They got problems. Depend what Asia, I don't want to go in detail like Japan, India, China, they're going up. So don't you forget that the Europe, besides the Africa, will be the continent which will suffer most. Now look at the South America. We are now in South America. This might be an answer to what's happening in the world and what's happening. Well, first world countries going down. Germany, USA, Japan, all around the world. Now to answer the question, finally, will third world countries go up and will they eventually meet and will be, as they say in Spain, igual in Spanish? We don't know. It's possible that Panama or Costa Rica or maybe Colombia, it doesn't look like now, or maybe Ecuador now or Salvador will go up economically. We don't know. I would say Costa Rica, Panama. It's possible, but does it really necessarily means that they will meet eventually? How about Panama and Costa Rica will have their obstacles and they will somehow made it to some point, but we know that they will maybe stop, and then the world will mix up just like genetically, and you will have a second world everywhere, or third world war and second world. You will have some kind of a gray, stupid, non-functioning but not totally fuck up failed countries like Canada, Germany, Austria, Japan. These countries stop working, but they are not in such a problems like, let's say, I don't know, like Somalia, or like Haiti. But we know it's not the first world. Who went to Austria knows it's not the first world anymore. Who went to USA, Germany, or Canada knows that it's not a England, it's not a first world. Yeah, it's a second world. It's eventually something like Panama and Costa Rica. Yeah? So we are facing, of some big mixture. Yeah? And some countries will climb up and stops. And the first one, they will always go down. Some former server countries will climb up into status of second world. Eventually transit between first and second, like my country, Czech Republic, was around 2000. It was a typical example of transferring country between second and first world. Let's say Panama, Costa Rica may achieve this, but I'm telling you, my friend, this is it. The first world country will decline, some second world, third world will a little bit climb up, and the third world, like Haiti, Somalia, they will be always in shits, So we know that wherever you go in the world, you can find something which is called some relative stability, or you can search for something, you can emigrate and you can ask yourself, is it good here? And you answer yourself, it's better, but it's not good. It's better, but it's not good. Everything under reconstruction, my friend. So this is it. That's all what I want to tell you. And Bogota Store Cafe. Jo, bratři a sestry, jaká ona to má potenciál obrovský, tak kurevská Kolumbie, všechno. Ale potenciál ještě neznamená úspěch. Co z toho, že to má potenciál? The problem in South America is the criminality. It's plagued by criminality. You see? That's what we all concern. We concern of criminality. Because it won't be religious wars which will tear out the world. It will be criminality, it will be chaos, it will be mafia will take over. Look what happened in Sweden, Norway, in Sweden, Denmark. Yeah? You got a fucking martial law there, no? In Lund. In fucking Malmo. It was a calm town. Now you got a fucking Somalian motherfuckers with machetes. Look at fucking England. Look at USA. Look at Canada. The mob, the crime taking over. Mafia. You see? That's what will happen with the world. Police stop functioning. Courts. Everything is getting into some kind of a restart for optimists, or synergy if you like. I'm not such an optimist. Now only what we can calculate is how long it will take. The world will fucking blow up, and eventually first world, which is connected to second and third, first world becoming third and third world becoming first, with the irony, right? With the don't take it literally. Now we have to calculate the estimate time of fucking arrival of disaster, and I think it's very fast. The things can go bad. Imagine in April 1989, you would think in a couple of months the Berlin Wall will fall apart. No, you didn't know this. Unless you have a really good intuition, visual one, like you were a kid and you waking up every day, every night, and some kind of nightmares where you were suffering from nightmares in which you saw a wall falling down like a kid, and then you were playing with the Lego in the living room. You look at the fucking TV and you said to your mother, hey, this is the wall I saw in my dream several months. So I have a visual intuition. It's a condensed experience. I can somehow predict the fucking future. Can you believe it? Yes. So what your intuition saying? You know what my intuition says? This morning I woken up, or in middle of night, and I look through the window in this town, Bogota, and it came to me like first or second after I woken up. I opened my eyes and something says to me, the world will blow up, you know. And I was thinking, eventually some kind of a third world restart. I mean, what a genius I am, right? And then I get up, I look at the fucking Bogota night, in the city in the night, and I feel the visual, the feeling was so obvious. You know, I was like, the world will blow up. It's a quiet before storm. Can you hear it? It's a quiet before storm. Es muy tranquilo, ¿eh? Pero es uno tipo de tranquilo que es muy peligroso. And it's this, you can think it over. Something is in the air. It's obvious. It's obvious. If you're living under the fucking stone, wherever you go in the world now, it's a fucking butterfly effect, motherfucker. You know, the fucking pigeon will fart here, and maybe the fucking Putin will stop in fucking Bratislava. All this shit's happening. Maybe we're in simulation. I don't know. Whatever it is, the terminology is different. We can say it in different languages, we use different terminologies, but we know something is in the air. Something like before Trump became president or Brexit, right? We know something is in the air. It's the second stage of fall down of the Western European civilization and real shakedown of the world. You know, the intervals of the crisis is shorter and shorter. So we know, you know, they're trying to push the fucking dollar into Bitcoin, Canadian money in Canada, because they know it's collapsing. You cannot pay $35 trillion in fucking US. It's impossible. And you're thinking like, why the fuck my generation would be the one who should pay for it? No, it's not possible. It will be another one. Now you know, it's like with Brexit or with the Trump. The world has no plan, you know. Why the fuck this shit cannot happen? Sure, motherfucker. You know, it can. Podcast not possible. Like, come on. Why it cannot happen? Why you cannot wake up in Western Europe, and, for example, you see a bunch of motherfuckers from Africa, you know, walking down the street with fucking baseball bats, trying to fucking open your house, and the Russians coming to fucking Slovakia. Why the fuck you cannot see the civil war bursting out in fucking Washington? Why not? I think you can see it. Why you cannot see Taiwan, which is attacked by China because they got a 90% of these fucking chips, which are needed for Mr. Altman for the fucking for the fucking artificial intelligence? Why you cannot see Venezuela, which will attack Guyana? I think this shit's gonna happen this year. I think something will happen. I cannot prove it, you know. You remember the guy Wallace, the guy who come out with the evolution before the motherfucker Darwin. He just sucked it up from his brain, you know. He was like sleeping, he had some fucking nightmares, he got a fever, he woken up, and he was like, fuck, we came from fish and our fucking fish and crocodiles. He just come out with the motherfucking evolution. And then the fucking idiot Darwin, he computed, you know, you got a crazy people, some psychopaths, you know, psychopaths. You got some fucking schizophrenics, you know, people on LSD, ayahuasca, whatever, you know. And these people in this, which are really crazy or wacko, like we would say here in this part of the world, they can confirm what the, you know, the Dionys, Apollon, this kind of the other people who computed, you know, like Darwin, fucking Edison. Did you know that the fucking telegraph was invented before Edison by this guy, I forgot his name, who drank himself to death in Chat Noir like 10 years ago before Edison, and he was giving lessons of Sanskrit in age of 13 in Sorbonne, and he invented Edison 10 years before telegraph before Edison. But he finished in Chat Noir drinking 40 absinthe per day. Died in age of 32. I forgot his name. You know, there are people who come out with a lot of shits before, but they are not hurt. You know, they're crazy. They like, they suck it up intuitively. Yeah? There is a certain degree of intuition, okay? There is a certain degree of intuition. Yeah? You can feel it. You can put your ear on the fucking floor and you can hear it, you can feel it. Something is in the fucking air, obviously. Obviously. Okay, I think I will cut off this fucking video. I think all fucking pickpocketers already know that I'm the guy who can be fucked here. Brothers and sisters, Bogota.